Have you ever wondered how time-consuming and expensive competitive cheerleading is? As a former competitive cheerleader, my family and I would know. How did competitive cheerleading consume your time and money? If you do not know everything other than time, then I'm here to inform you on that today. Competitive cheerleading is where teams go head-to-head and you can make lifelong friends. Yes, it is fun, but it can be very expensive and can take up a whole bunch of time. I would like to inform you a little bit on the behind the scenes of how expensive competitive cheerleading is and how time-consuming competitive cheerleading is. First, I would like to tell you how time-consuming competitive cheerleading is. According to CoachUp.net, competitive cheerleading is an unbelievable cardiovascular workout that keeps an individual healthy and fit. It also says that cheerleaders spend hours upon hours practicing and critiquing and finalizing every single move. Competitive cheerleading is a sport that takes up a lot of time throughout the week, and once competition season starts, even on the weekends. During the week, a team can practice 2 to 3 times a week, depending on what level you're on. If you're on a higher level, you practice 3 times a week, and if you're on a lower level, you practice about 2. Practices last around 2 to 3 hours, and during practice, you practice your routine, you jump, you stunt, and you tumble. When the team is not in competition season, they just condition and rep out each section of their routine. They come in and condition for around 30 minutes, and then they perfect each skill, and they do it until it is completely perfect. They come to practice and they rep out everything until the coach says it looks good. When the team is in competition season, they come in and they run routines the entire time. Sometimes they run the routines in halves, and sometimes they run the routines in fulls. They don't have to tumble and stunt and jump every time, only when it's a full out. So practices can vary between each season. The next thing I would like to tell you about is how expensive competitive cheerleading is. Competitive cheerleading is a sport that is very costly. Competitive cheerleading seasons last about 11 months. 1 month of competitive cheerleading is about $225. That money goes to pay for competition fees and any other fees that come up throughout the season. An athlete needs a uniform, which is about $450. The parents have to buy their own shoes, which can be up to $100. And if an athlete wants a backpack, just like this one, or any other little thing, the parent has to pay for that too. All that can add up to be over $800. According to Kim Cook, during competition season is when it gets even more expensive. A team normally goes to about 7 to 10 competition seasons a year. This competitions start in November or December, depending on where you live. And normally the competitions are 1 to 2 day long, depending on which type of competition you go to. If the competition is out of town, that can cost the athlete up to $1,500 because the athlete and the parents have to stay in a hotel. That price adds up to be your hotel fees, your competition entry fees for the parents, food, gas, and merchandise from the competition. The teams normally go to about 3 to 4 out-of-town competitions each season. If the competition is in town, it can cost about $200. That pays for your gas to get there, the food you eat while you're there, and the competition fees for the parents and merchandise. Yes, there are fundraisers that you can do, but people will only buy so many things. I would like to remind you that the purpose of my speech was to tell you about how time-consuming and expensive competitive cheerleading is. Again, I have done my research, but I have also been in competitive cheerleading, so my family and I know exactly what there is to know about competitive cheerleading. Whenever you meet someone who wants to do competitive cheerleading, you can sit down and inform them on everything that I informed you today. It was a pleasure to tell you a few main points of the competitive cheerleading life, and I hope you got something out of it. Thank you.